Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Still wearing my green eyeshadow. The lip, damn. So I'm feeling it's over 100 degrees outside. I'm slightly chilly inside, so I was feeling fall. I'm ready for the fall. I live in Arizona and man, am I ready for the fall. But unfortunately, it starts only at the end of October. Dang it. But, so my favorite, hands down, matte liquid lipstick is by Maybelline. I have so many of their shades, so many, and I'm sure there's going to be more to come. So they came out with the chocolate line. I had to get my hands on it. I got two different shades, but this is the one that I'm wearing right now. This is the Cocoa. Oh my God, what are they? Tripping me? Cocoa Connoisseur. That was a difficult one. 270. Thank God for the numbers. But it's just, oh, I love this shade. It's like deep and it's cocoa, but it's warm. It's just stunning. And I figured it will look really good with this eye. Okay, so, but what I want to talk today is about full to medium coverage foundations for dry skin. I thought I had more and I really don't. So I'm really into light to medium coverage more than anything else. But I feel like, yeah, so it's more like medium and or light buildable to medium kind of thing. So let's get to getting, right? So the two that I want to mention are the ones that I also was talking about in light coverage, because anything, I feel like any foundation, you can make it like light to medium coverage, depends. But these are in between. For me, they're like light to medium coverage. Same thing. So the Makeup Forever Reboot or the Stila, these two. You can really play with them because they're so fluid and you can build them up and it looks great build up as well. So those two, want to mention. This is the one that I just tried and it got all dirty and messy. What the hell? Either way. So this one is from ColourPop, the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I got mine in N60. Perfect match. I never have perfect matches. This was just spot on. Never experienced that. But this one is definitely same thing. It's, I wouldn't call it, I don't think this is full coverage, but it's definitely, you can make it light and you can make it medium. That's the thing. And it's buildable because I had to add more to this area, and it definitely did add more coverage and doesn't cling to no dry patches. It looks stunning. I would never call it dewy. It is not dewy. In my opinion, dewy is something very kind of like watery on your skin. This is not. This is just your skin, but better. It's not even satin. It's just kind of like a skin texture finish. It's not tacky. Like, I didn't even really need it to set it down. Like, I just kind of played with some powders. All right, moving on. So this one is from Misha. I love this product. It is definitely medium coverage. It is not, I mean, you can light it, you can make it a light coverage, but it is a medium coverage for sure. And it's like a lot of coverage. It is. Same thing with the Cushion Foundation by them. So right now it's just 23. It's just too light for me. So this is for winter. It is hydrating. Both of them are fantastic for dry skin. These ones, I would say they're more dewy. And I mean, SPF, medium coverage, medium plus even. Fantastic. This one I feel has a bit more coverage, but I mean, they're just, both of them are amazing. Then the other one, this one, I love this foundation so much. This one is Born to Glow by NYX. I love this foundation so much. It's definitely not dewy. It doesn't cling to anything, doesn't exaggerate anything. It's just filter. Someone put a filter on my skin. Every time I wear this, my skin and my entire makeup looks flawless. I don't know what's in it. Never had this experience prior. This is amazing. And now good old faithful Born This Way, this foundation, well, light beige, that's my tone in this one. I just love it. It's matte, it's medium to full coverage. It's not a drying matte by no means. I cannot handle dry matte. It's just stunning. It is really, really good. Again, and it's the kind that you want to wear when you're like going somewhere and you want to look flawless. It's a flawless foundation. Got another one here that I forgot to pull out. So this one is the Milani 2-in-1 Conceal and Perfect. Some hate it, some love it. I adore it. I feel because it's heavy, so it's not matte. It's I don't know, like your skin, or it's not dewy necessarily. It's just like satin or your skin. I don't know. But because it's kind of thick, I feel like it is hydrating, and I feel like it's almost preventing any water loss from my skin. It's almost like a physical barrier. It has that. And because also it's kind of thick, it almost lays, like I use it when my skin is really, really, really bad and I have dry patches everywhere. It almost lays it down. I also kind of use a beauty blender versus a brush at that time. But unlike anything else, this is just, it works the best at the worst time of my skin, which right now it's not, and I'm cherishing every moment. But I really love it. I personally enjoy it a lot. And again, people that love it and hate it, they're not necessarily either oily or dry. It's just a their own preference. But surprisingly, I really love it. I have it in multiple shades because I couldn't figure out my shade in that. And the last one that I want to talk about, it's the latest one that I got. This one is from Dose of Colors, their new foundation. I got one in 110 Light, and it's a really good, and it says medium to full coverage foundation. Meet your hue. It's a different kind of a foundation. I don't know how to explain it. It's matte. It's definitely medium to full coverage. I try to sheer it out and I use a beauty blender and everything because I don't like full coverage, and it's just too much. There's something about it that I don't like. It's not like with this one, I need to go with a really, really hydrating primer. One. And really good hydrating skincare prior. But I need to let the primer really set in the skin. Like I cannot go with this over overly dewy skin. It's almost when it mixes with anything else, it changes the formula and it does not work well. So you don't want to go on dry skin. You want to do something prior. Like I always use a refreshing spray and then either like a moisturizer and a primer or just a primer, but just to hydrate. But with this one, you absolutely have to let all of that set in the skin and then go in, preferably with a beauty blender for me personally. But the reason I want to put the effort, because there were a few foundations that I decluttered. And by the way, there's a one that everybody says it's the best for dry skin. It's the Maybelline, was it Fit Me Luminous or something like that? I tried it twice, once like 7 years ago and lately, and I hated them. Absolutely hated it. It cleans to dry patches, exaggerates them, and it moves, it separates all over my face, and that doesn't happen with pretty much no foundation that I'm just talking about. Like they don't move, they stay put, they look beautiful. That one always did. Now this one, the finish is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is kind of as if you used a matte foundation and then you set your skin with like an illuminating powder, like an hourglass powder. Imagine that, and that is what you get here. I can't explain it. It is very, very strange. I don't, it's very creamy when you go with it, but it's not, it's thick, creamy, but it's not heavy. And when it dries down, so it sets pretty quick, by the way. It's already set. I don't know if you can tell. So I'll just give it a few more seconds to set down. It's not dewy, but it has a, hello lights, adjust. There's something, it's like lit from within, but it's not, it's not a highlight or anything like that. It is very strange. So it's like meet your hue, which can be, a hue can be a tone, but it's almost like, I don't know. That's why I am willing to fight for this foundation and figure out how to, can you see what I'm talking about? And I'm telling you, it is not sticky. It is set. There's nothing sticky about it at all. It is not dewy. It doesn't feel hydrating. There's nothing about it. So the sheen that you're seeing is from the finish. I don't know. But I'm willing to fight for this foundation because of how it makes your skin look. Like, it's worth the battle. It's worth figuring out what to do with your skin before. I never say that. I am very low, not low maintenance. I cannot be bothered. Like, you're either gonna give me what I want or get out of my way, you know? I have no time for you. I have all the time in the world for this one. I am willing to invest. It is so good. Like, it was very mixed feelings about it, but yeah, I don't know. I keep looking at my very set plant out there. It's actually recovering. Yes, I watered it like 30 minutes ago, and it's slightly picking its little leaves up. My hair is going through things as well. I want winter and fall already. It was like 117 degrees the other day. What the hell? Like, and everybody's like escaping to the mountains because it's cooler there. And I'm just like, we did that as well, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, at this point, like literally, I can be there for like a month. And then it rains there often. Ugh, the Tonto area. I'm just like, that's the thing, like it's either that or like snowy winter, and I hate both. Like I like rain and fog and gray skies, or like 85, 95 degrees and humid. I like humid. I like when everything sticks to you. I don't know why. I'd rather have that over this 117 and dry. It's like, you know, when you're cooking a chicken, or not necessarily a chicken, when you're cooking something in the stove. I just like cooking my chicken in the stove, okay? And it's like in the 400, 425 degrees, and then you open the stove to check on it, and you get that, and you're like, you know, like, takes you a moment from that dry heat. That's how it is to open the door. And if it's like sunny, and obviously it's sunny, like I literally feel my flesh and my skin being scorched. I hate it. What the hell? But anyway, so, you know, I just wanted to get it off my chest, sorry. But yeah. So these are my recommendations for foundations for medium to full coverage for dry skin. Honestly, they all really work for me. And again, like your skin is, if you have dry skin, your skin is going to go through different tantrums depending on the season and the climate, and you know, it's just great. But what I do, I change the method of application. Right now, for example, I have no issues working with a brush. Not at all. And I am really on it with brushes because I can actually use them. But once you notice that your skin is dry, stay away from brushes, because all you're doing is just scratching and kind of lifting all those flakes and all those areas. Take your not even a beauty blender, I don't really like the beauty blender, just like a, you know, like a blending sponge, and just work with that. Make sure you're never going straight on dry skin. Like a refreshing spray, a very hydrating primer, or even a moisturizer and a primer. You can even double up on the primer, maybe an oil and the primer and a moisturizer. Sometimes that's what I do. Like, hey, if that's what I need to do, that's what I'm gonna do. You know, then kind of go over like that, and yeah, and try to minimize the powder. The way that I use powders, it's very light, and usually it's something like this. I kind of sample in, and that's it. Like ones are just really, really lightly, and more like focus just kind of right here when you don't have any dry patches. And yeah, and a setting spray. Just soak it all in. If you're living in a dry climate like I am, hyaluronic acid might not be your friend, or it really, really, really depends on the formulation. Because hyaluronic acid is a molecule that is drawn to water. It really doesn't care about your skin concerns. It cares about water. So it's going to draw it from where it has the most. When you're living in a dry environment, it doesn't matter if it's winter or summer, it's going to go for your skin because the environment doesn't have it. So a lot of them are actually can be very drying. So somebody who's oily might enjoy, because they're going to feel, you know, that satisfaction that they're not as oily, but it can kind of bite them in the ass eventually. But certain products kind of work for me. Definitely the ColourPop, this foundation and their tinted moisturizer with hyaluronic acid works beautifully for me. I adore those products dearly. But there is a but. I tried the spray, the setting spray with hyaluronic acid, and I hated it. I kind of applied it one time. The next day I went to return it, because not even a minute after I have kind of sprayed it on my skin was just dry as a desert. It was just, you know, that feeling when it's funky to even move your skin, or your face, I mean, kind of looks like you have feels like you have a mud mask. That's how it was. Well, that is it for today, for this section. Thanks for hanging out with me and listening me telling you about foundations, since it's also interesting. I prefer kind of to break it into topics, since I get scattered. So I need to like kind of focus myself into topics. Plus, like, honestly, when I have an issue with makeup, I go on YouTube and I search for something specific. And I personally don't like when I kind of stumble upon a video that is kind of broken into different topics. So I have to listen to a lot of information that I don't care about until I get to what I want. So I don't know. I think like I just kind of rather do it the way that I would prefer to find information, because these kind of videos are the videos that I'm looking for a recommendation. For example, that's how I'm gonna call it, you know, like full to medium coverage foundation for dry skin. And literally when I'm looking for that, that's what I'm putting in YouTube. I'm like, give it to me. So I prefer to have a video that is like just for that versus multiple topics. Either way, have a wonderful day. I hope I gave you some good recommendations, maybe some things you were thinking about trying and now you're braver enough to go ahead and do that. Maybe some good tips. All right, well, till next time, stay out of trouble, make good decisions. Till next time, bye.